The Easter story that Jim shared with the children this morning was based on Mark's account. Now, Mark is the earliest of the gospel writers, and he wrote about 40 to 60 years after Jesus' death. His is also the shortest version of the Easter story, with just 8 verses. In the decades to follow, many other versions of Jesus' resurrection would be written, including Matthew, Luke, and John, which all added characters and events. In a moment, we will hear the first part of John's version, which was written, remember now, nearly 100 years after Jesus' death. The nature and the meaning of resurrection varies greatly from one century to another, from one denomination to another, from one congregation to another, and even from one person to another. Resurrection continues to be argued and defended, perhaps more than any other belief that we find. Ironically, resurrection, which is primarily about victory over death, tends more often to be life-taking among those who insist on arguing and defending. After all, it's one understanding versus another understanding. So, keeping in mind that we are now hearing a second version of the story, we are invited to ponder the question, what might this story have to say to us about resurrection in our lives and at this time? So reading from John, chapter 20, verses 1 to 10, we find, early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Then Peter and the other disciple set out and went toward the tomb. The two were running together, and the other disciple was the faster of the two and ran on ahead. When he got there, he bent down to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter came following him and went into the tomb. He saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head rolled up into a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who reached the tomb first, also went in, and he also saw and believed. Then the disciples went their way and returned to their homes. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Thanks be to God.